How do, ladies, gents, and others? It's me, Rustin Charmaine, that dude who made the hour-and-a-half video breaking down every single Sleep Token song's lyrics. Or the 3 albums, at least. I didn't do the EPs. As several comments pointed out, I forgot the EPs. But anyway, I am kind of live here now because for the first time, I think, ever, other than at one time when I reacted to my own album that I made years ago, I'm going to do a more reaction style video because Sleep Token has just dropped a brand new song and I haven't listened to it yet, and there's a music video for it, so I'm going to watch that, even though I tend to prefer when reaction people don't watch the YouTube video because then they kind of get more into the video than the song. But I'm the lyrics dude. I'm going to be listening out for lyrics, see what we can pick up, maybe even look them up after, because someone will already have transcribed them, let's be honest. Yeah, let's get into it. Let's check it out.
Well, you were late in verse, living on a promised word. Well, I am the rose you relinquished again. You and I are down head first in another world I had. But I have a feeling we're close to the end.
Okay, so obviously I'm listening a lot to lyrics. There was a moment that felt very putting down the roses, picking up the sword, but without the aggression in it. Like thematically, lyrically, sorry if I sniffle, by the way, I'm full of cold at the minute. Thematically, lyrically so far, it feels kind of Jawsy, which I realise now is a song that I haven't spoken about on the channel. But Jaws, if you haven't heard the Sleep Token song Jaws, for a start, do so. It's one of Two's best. But lyrically, it's about trying to provoke someone who's pretending to be pious into showing them who they really are. It's a little bit attack on Christianity. There's lots of church symbolism, not like Sleep Token worship. But yeah, the idea of show me those pretty white jaws. Sleep Token loves biting analogies, but this was the first one, and it was very much, I know you're not this thing that you're pretending to be. Show me the teeth. Show me your teeth. Show me the jaws. This feels like that, but with the aggression all stripped away, it feels more. I'm at a loss for the word. The opposite of the word is disingenuous. Genuine, I guess, would be the opposite. It feels real. It feels earnest. That's the word. I knew I'd find it if I just kept looking. Speaking of keeping looking, let's see what happens next. Oh my god, are we going synthy?
Are you caught by my nano, red glass on my light bulb, dark light on my culture, sapphire on my white gold, burst out of my chest and hide out in the vents. My blood beats so alive, my bite right through your lenses. Midnight in my mind's eye, drowning out the daylight. Godspeed to my enemies, to be asking for that call sign. You know the behavior, canines of the savior. Glory to the legion, trauma for the neighbors.
So that little arms around me, that kind of refrain sounds a lot like the Midnight. I don't know if any of you are into the Midnight. There's a Midnight song. Um, I think it's Dance with Somebody, where it's that same kind of vocoder effect and a very similar kind of synth pattern. Vessel's rapping. Mm, I don't really. Again, I'd need to look up the lyrics or listen again to catch everything, but it didn't really feel like it matched too well with what came before. After I've listened, I'll look up what the lyrics are and we can have a quick peruse. Um, but no, I'm sorry. Like I don't. If you don't want to know who Sleep Token are, I know. If you don't want to know, I won't ruin it. But I think everyone knows they're from England, as am I. They are. There's a if you don't know England, this might be a bit weird. But as a Northern English person, there is a certain stigma about Southern English people being posh and I don't know. Let me put it this way: when Vessel raps, sometimes he sounds like where he's from, and I don't mean accent. I mean background, upbringing. It just it does kind of have a little bit of a whiff to it. If you're not from here and that means nothing to you, then I apologize. But it's just every time, whenever I hear him rap, less so actually in Ascensionism. No, less so in Take Me Back to Eden, but in Ascensionism and now in this, it's very Surrey, if you know what I mean.
I've got solar blessed for your dead god, space dust for your fuel rods, dark days for your solstice, dancing through the depths of hellfire on the winds that started from within. My blood beats so alive, might tear right through my skin. So tell me what you meant by living past your half-life and lockstep with the universe and your well-past in the afterlife. You know that I'm sanctified by what's below, no matter what you do, no matter where you go. You might be the one to take away the pain and let my mind go quiet. And nothing else is quite the same as how I feel when I'm at your side. Come on, come on, out from underneath who you were. Come on now, you know that it's time to emerge.
Yeah, I'm struggling to piece this together. Ugh. There are certain things. There are many things that I love in Sleep Token's music, and as I always have, and as I will continue to do so, I refer to them as Drama Kid Deftones because that's what they are. They are. Hey, what if Deftones were a bunch of goth drama geeks? And that's that's Sleep Token. That or the other thing I heard someone else say. I can't take credit for this one. So I heard someone say they're 3 parts Deftones, 2 parts Depeche Mode, and yeah, that's accurate as well. But another thing I like in music generally is a gear change, especially if it's out of nowhere. Like I love a jarring tonal shift, and this song has had several, but I don't really feel like any of them worked. I might have to listen to this again straight after, without the um, impetus of stopping it and talking about it. Yeah, it feels a bit fragmented, and it's already just is about to do a thing that I often credit Sleep Token songs for not really doing, and that's going back to the same section. Like I remember I watched, I think it's Lost in Vegas reaction they did to Granite. I think, and I see lots of people saying similar things about. So saw someone say it about Rain as well. Like, I'll just bring the chorus back, or do this part again, or go back to this beat. And Sleep Token don't really do that. Like, if you missed it the first time, sorry, we've moved on. Like, even taking it back to Eden, where it does do the same vocal passage 3 times, it's different all 3 times. Benefit of the doubt. Let's play it on. You know, if it ends with a minute of jazz, then all is forgiven. So far, though, I don't think I like this. What made you not like this? It doesn't encrypt my. Never mind. Uh, all the pieces are there. It's just there's something that's not quite right. Like it's almost like, in fact, that's what it is, isn't it? It's almost like there's a checklist. There's a checklist of, okay, this is what had Turn Me Back to Eden blow up. The album, not the song. Heavy sections, chuggy guitar sections, rap sections, electronic sections, softer ballad sections, more open, like big guitar chorus sections. And in 5 minutes and 30 seconds, we've hit all of them. And now I do feel like even if the entire rest of the song is this kind of jazzy sax thing, that's still one of the checklist items of like the non sequitur outro, like off The Summoning. This is also very The Midnight. Okay, so there's a heavy song coming up. Gotcha. As expected, someone's already written them down, and there's already notes on them on Genius. Not going to look at those. Let's just see. Right. Well, you were laid in the verse, living on a promise to word. I am the rose you relinquished again. So yeah, we've covered that on that video I did. You and I went down head first in another world I heard, but I have a feeling we're close to the end. Well, if that is referencing the previous 3-album arc, which it almost certainly is, laid in verse, the rose being relinquished, we aren't close to the end, we're beyond the end. Unless whatever this story is going to be takes place within that one. But, like, I'm sorry, Euclid is an ending. That's not... Euclid doesn't have a sequel. It ends where the first song begins, so you can't go along after that. It either needs to be a new story. Nope, there is no either. It needs to be a new story. So come on, come out from underneath who you were. Come on, come out now. You know it. That it's time to emerge. So kind of Ascensionism vibes. But if it is that same story, everyone in the comments told me it's a he, but he's talking about his ex, okay? She's not going to emerge. We established that again. That's what we gave up on the idea of in Take Me Back to Eden. So go ahead, wrap your arms around me. Yeah, that's just a refrain. Here we go, the rap section. Are you carbide on my nano? Red glass on my light bulb. Okay, dark like on my culture, sapphire on my white gold. These are similar kind of technology, chemistry themes to again in Take Me Back to Eden. Burst out of my chest and out in events. My blood beats so alive, might bite right through your lens. Okay. Does that fit with what's said so far? Especially, like, again, we're going back to biting again. We're going aggressive again. Got solar flares for your death guns, space dust for your fuel rods. Dark days for your solstice, dancing through the depths of hellfire on the winds that start from within. What do you mean by living past your half-life? Everything lives past its half-life. Yeah, this feels like it's a song to go maybe in between Take Me Back to Eden and Euclid, because I did think there was a time gap there. But I was kind of hoping they'd move on and do a different thing. Is there more below this advert? Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's the same. Okay. Before I give final thoughts, I'm going to listen to the song again, uninterrupted, without a microphone here, and then I'll come back. Okay. Can confirm it is a better song if you don't constantly pause it and talk about it. It's better than on the first listen. But I'm still having this problem with it thematically. So it is very similar thematically to Jaws, but more positive, less aggressive. And obviously I didn't cover Jaws in the first video, but I assumed Jaws was from the perspective of sleep because it's so aggressive and because it's trying to corrupt the supposedly innocent. And this feels, because it is more earnest, it feels like the opposite. It's trying to take the supposedly evil and say, you know, you're not actually like that. But that's what a lot of Take Me Back to Eden was trying to do. And the kind of hopeful love parts as well, the you and by the one to take the pen away and let my mind go quiet. Yes, that could mean death, but probably not. It's probably just more similar kind of vibe as was on Sundowning, like in the songs after Vessel's been cowed quite tremendously. like Give, for example, where it's very much just infatuated and in love. It feels like a combination of those two things, and this might be a bit of a stretch, so apologies if it is. But I am being reminded of The Last Jedi, is it? Whichever one the middle one of the more recent Star Wars trilogy is. Because I remember everyone kind of enjoyed Force Awakens. There was criticism it was too much like A New Hope, and you know what? Yeah, it was. But it was still a good film, so people were excited. And because there was 2 years, and because the internet exists, everyone came up with ideas and theories. Everyone had the sequel to that film in their own head before they ever saw it. And so then when they saw it and Rian Johnson had seemingly written it specifically to go against expectation, which is not a good way to write anything, people were disappointed. But it's not that bad of a film. It has its problems, but it's not as terrible as some people said it was. But it was because it wasn't what they thought it should have been. And I feel like I might be doing that now because, you know, I made that video on those 3 albums because, like, I've never done more than one album at a time in a video before. But I did all 3 together because they create an arc, all 3 of them. Not just because the final song ends with a snippet from the first song, but just thematically it tells one story. But that one story was done. Part of me actually thought that Sleep Token should just stop. Like, that should be the end. But obviously when that third album blew up, they couldn't stop. So here we are. But I thought it needs to be something new. It needs to be a new idea, a new story to tell. But unless the next single, which knowing Sleep Token will come out tomorrow, unless the next single goes somewhere completely different, this is going to be more of the same. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that. But it's the first single. It's been out for exactly 5 minutes. So I'll be patient. Anyway, I've been listening to Xiaomi. Those have been my initial thoughts and breakdown. I'm going to call this lyrical breakdown. So if you if you're angered by that title, I apologize. But you know, whenever the album drops, there will be like at least 30 to 40 minute breakdown from me. So that will be on this channel at some point. But yeah, thanks for listening to me waffle about this for a while. See you next time. Until the future, drive safe.